I am a 40-year-old mother of a baby girl who is 5. I have been married to my husband for 12 years. About 10 years ago, I started my business, and it is my pride and joy. I love my life, and I enjoy my work. 2 years ago, I lost my beautiful mother to breast cancer. It all happened in 5 weeks, and she was so young, 55 years old. It sent me into shock and depression. A short while before that, my best friend found out that her husband cheated, and he left her for his mistress. It was a hard time, and my best friend and I became even closer than ever before. She moved in with me for a while after my mother passed because I wasn't really functioning and she was homeless. I started with antidepressants that killed my sexual needs. I felt guilty for my husband, but I really couldn't do anything but try to be healthy again as soon as possible. My best friend lived with us for 1 year, and they started sleeping together towards the end of that year. That's when I got home early and heard them. I ran out in shock. I came back a few hours later pretending nothing happened. I managed to smoothly find her a place because I couldn't bear it happening in my home. My sanctuary. My happy place where I live with my daughter. My best friend had already found herself a job, and I took the opportunity to find her the apartment near her job. She was grateful. I was a bit more relieved. The affair is still going on. If I leave, he will take half. It will ruin me and my business and what I am trying to build for me and my baby. No, I don't want to leave. It is so unfair that he is the one cheating and I am the one who will pay if I said anything. I refuse, so I am letting it happen. Instead, I wrote him off as my companion and safety blanket. I still have lots to be grateful for. My baby, my family, and my beautiful home, and my business. Most of the time, I am content and happy even though I myself don't know how I am doing it. Maybe it is numbness or resignation, or maybe it is true contentment. But sometimes, when everything is 100 times magnified, I can barely contain my panic. Especially at night when he wakes me up because I am crying. Again, are you having a nightmare? And he tries to kiss and cuddle me to make me feel safe. I'm here. I'm here. You're safe. I wish I could tell him that my nightmares are my escape from my reality with him and that his shoulders aren't safe. Like and subscribe to support the channel. He rarely asks why I am crying. He probably thinks it is mom, because that's what I tell him, but sometimes I feel like he knows or that he can't help himself wondering. What's going on behind those eyes? What do you mean? I can't read your face anymore. See, you are silent again. When I look at him, he immediately looks away like he is scared he would turn into stone and says, I miss you, that's all. My panic has increased more these past few months since he started paying me attention again. The first period after mom's passing, he never bothered me out of courtesy, I suppose. Never asked for intimacy. Then he had her, so he didn't need me. But now? I don't know what changed. They're still together, so what does he want from me? Is he testing me? I never understood why they're doing what they're doing either. I have seen their texts. There's no love there, no respect, no warmth. Not what I would expect from two people who are sleeping together, especially not when the stakes are so high. You would think that they love each other so much that they're willing to pay the price in case they're caught. No, there's a lot of anger, fighting, and resentment. A lot of guilt and self-hatred. He calls himself and her disgusting and shells of a human being. Is that too some sort of love? I don't know why I am writing here. I Googled about infidelity and self-help and I ended up in this community and I read tons of similar stories. Maybe I would feel better writing my own down. Please don't think too ill of me. I know that I am pathetic, but I used to have more dignity. Additional information from OP on speaking with a lawyer regarding her assets. I have already talked to a lawyer. I contacted one January 2nd an hour after I heard them in my bed. I have discussed many options during the months, and none gives me full control of my life and company. One was a post-nuptial agreement, of course, but why would he just sign one? We discussed maybe I confess to him that I know about them, hoping that he would want to do anything to save the marriage, including a post-nup. But this is leaving too much to chance and to someone who could easily cheat on me, but also it doesn't feel right to lure him into signing then go ahead with divorce anyway. I can't be this malicious. My other option is one of my family members buy in, my dad or brother, for example, like 10%. It would leave me with majority in case of divorce, and I could buy him out eventually. But again, I leave much to chance and no control over the outcome. Mostly I am not looking forward to seeing my husband's real face, which I believe I will when I ask for divorce. If he did this to me when he pretended to love me, then how would he act when he doesn't need to pretend anymore? Do I want my baby to see her parents at their worst this early? Not sure. Maybe I am just obsessing as usual. Relevant comments. Harming 5326. I'm so sorry, Opie. My heart breaks for you. Is there any way you can legally make plans to do something with your assets, business, etc.? While things are amicable, I think it's best to take steps to protect your daughter and the business. I hate to make you think about it, but what if he leaves and you have to do this anyways? Wouldn't, edit for spelling, you rather be prepared and ready to take on the new adventure that life takes you? Growing heart, best wishes, sending love. OP. I have talked to an attorney about all YM options, and even my best options aren't good enough right now. My only hope is that it comes to a point where I could buy him out when we divorce. It won't happen in a few years. OP on if her husband is entitled to half of her business. OP. Actually, he didn't believe in my idea, so he didn't want to help because he was scared that I would lose money. I started with loans and with government assistance for young female entrepreneurs with low interest, so no, he didn't help with anything. Still, he is entitled to one half after divorce. Update. May 30th, 2024. Hi everyone. I have made a post previous to this a few weeks ago. Thank you for the support and the many suggestions. If you want the details, please read that one first. I promise that I will make this one very short and simple. I have taken 2 measures to protect myself and my daughter when my husband and I get a divorce to protect my assets and my daughter's future. I am sure many will find my methods to be dubious, and honestly it is fine with me. All's fair in love and war, and this is a bit of both. I told my father everything. He was horrified but a bit relieved that he finally found out what's been hurting me. We have discussed the possibility that he could buy into my business in case I need to divide, so he and I have the bigger share and still can make the decisions. Then I have agreed to my husband's suggestion of seeing a marriage counselor. He talked about my mom's passing and how it affected me and my mentality. He kept talking about me building walls and being distant and how he was longing for me to come back to him. I just wondered while he talked what he would do if I told him that I knew. Would he still complain about my walls or finally understand them? I opened up about my mom's illness and how it affected me. Not only the losing her part, but the fact that my grandmother and great-grandmother passed the same way. It kept me thinking that I have inherited this and passed it down to my daughter, and the guilt and fear that I have been feeling. I chose to have my daughter fully aware of the risks. What was I thinking? Since the counseling, we have been talking more in our day-to-day, and I just honestly told him that my business was one of the stressors in my life. That I am always worried that if I didn't fix our marital issues, and he wanted to leave me, it would change my career and future, while his wouldn't because he is government employee. This was 2 weeks ago. The day after, he sat me down and told me that he wanted a post-nuptial agreement to make me feel more secure. He wanted me to be with him because I wanted to, not because I had to. I talked in my first post about my house, etc., but I really don't care about that anymore. Everything else can be marital property, and honestly I started to hate this house and I can't wait to leave it. So next move is starting the separation. I am aiming for the end of this year, and then only the hardest part is left. Telling my daughter that mommy and daddy won't be living together anymore. I am not looking forward for that part. Relevant comments. Intention, 926. I'm glad that you reached out to your father for help. It must have been so isolating that the 2 people you would have gone to for comfort are the 2 people who were causing you pain. Get the post-nup done ASAP, so you can move on. Once that's done, you can file for divorce. This isn't dubious at all, or it's less dubious than the activity he is engaged in. After your ducks are in a row, you should break it to him in couples counseling that you are divorcing him and what you saw. When he says sorry, you stand firm that he wasn't so sorry that he stopped. He wasn't so sorry that it never started. Not so sorry that at the lowest point in your life he wouldn't betray you. You deserve better. OP. I will do the best for my mental health and for our daughter. If leaving this behind and not telling him is the best way, then I will just leave it be. I will probably know by then what's best for me. OP on her relationship with her ex-best friend. OP, my ex-best friend and I had a falling out a while back because I don't talk to her anymore, and because I have changed so much. She ended up telling me that I am going to lose everyone that loves me if I stayed that way. Whether they know or suspect something, I don't know. Well, I think this is one of her excuses to herself about why she betrayed me like this. Because I have changed and been pushing away the people that love me towards each other, apparently. And honestly, what else can you tell yourself about your shitty behaviors to be able to sleep the night? Only I didn't start changing and pushing away people who love me before they betrayed me. OP was asked if her husband and the friend are together. OP, they are still having an affair. I have seen that he still gets texts from her at night. Not sure if they still feel like scum. Nothing changed really. Like and subscribe to support the channel.